Very good morning, students. I welcome you all, 11th standard commerce students, for this economic online class. Let us now go to part 2 of the lesson, Tamil Nadu economy. Now we are going to discuss about the energy sources of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu tops in power generation among the southern states of India. Tamil Nadu is in the forefront of all other Indian states in installed capacity. Muppandal wind farm is a renewable energy source. What's the meaning of renewable energy source? Which can be obtained again and again, supplying the villagers with electricity for work. Do you know where is this Muppandal? It is in Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari district. Wind farms were built in Nagarkoil, Tuticorin, Coimbatore, Pollachi, Dharapuram and Udumalai Pete. All these areas generate about half of India's 2000 megawatts of wind energy, or we can say 2% of the total power output of India is coming from Tamil Nadu, that too especially from Coimbatore, Pollachi, Dharapuram, Udumalai, Nagarkoil and Tuticorin. Next topic is nuclear energy. There are two nuclear power plants in Tamil Nadu. One is the Kalpakkam nuclear power plant and the next Kudangulam nuclear power plant. These two are the major nuclear energy plants for the energy grid of Tamil Nadu. Thermal power. What do you mean by thermal power? Generating electricity by burning coal and fossil fuels are called as thermal power. So in Tamil Nadu, the share of thermal power in total energy sources is very high, and the thermal power plants are at Attipattu, that's in North Chennai, Ennur, Mettur, Neyveli and Thuthukudi. Next is hydel energy. What do you mean by hydel energy? Producing electricity in the moving water or running water is called as a hydel energy. There are about 20 hydroelectric units in Tamil Nadu. The important ones are Hunda, Mettur, Periyar, Maravakandi, Parson Valley, etc. Solar energy. Tamil Nadu tops in solar power generation in India. What is solar energy? Generating electricity with the help of sunlight. Southern Tamil Nadu is considered as one of the most suitable regions in the country for developing solar power projects. Wind energy. Generating electricity with the help of moving wind is called wind energy. Tamil Nadu has the highest installed wind energy capacity in India. The state has very high quality of offshore wind energy potential off the Tirunelveli coast and southern Thuthukudi and Rameswaram coast. So if you take Tamil Nadu, these three places are famous for taking wind energy, that is Thuthukudi, Rameswaram and also on the Tirunelveli coast. Services. Now we are going to see the tertiary sector. It's called as the service sector. So far we have discussed about the primary sector or agriculture sector, secondary sector and the industrial sector. Now we are going to see about the tertiary sector or the services sector. So what all comes under the services? Banking, insurance, energy, transport and communication, fall under tertiary sector, also called as service sector. Next, we are going to see the first service sector, banking. In Tamil Nadu, nationalized banks account for 52% with 5,337 branches. Private commercial banks accounts for 30%, which contains 3,060 branches. So 52% is occupied by nationalized bank and 30% of commercial banks are present in Tamil Nadu. State Bank of India and its associates constitutes 13%, regional rural banks 5% with 537 branches, and the remaining 22 are foreign bank branches. Total deposits of the banks in Tamil Nadu registered a year-on-year increase of 14.32%. So every year there is an increase of 14.32% in the deposits of the bank by March 2017 and touched nearly 6,65,068.59 crores. See the huge amount of money that has been deposited in the banks of Tamil Nadu. Total credit of the bank in Tamil Nadu registered a year-on-year increase of 13.50 by March 2017 and touched 6,95,500.31 crores. Total credit of the banks in Tamil Nadu amounts to nearly 7 crores. The share of priority sector advances stands at 45.54% as against the national average of 40%. So priority sector advances in Tamil Nadu stands for 45%, whereas the national average is only 40%. The percentage of agricultural advances to total advances as at the end of March 2017 works out to 19.81% as against the national average of 18%. Banks in Tamil Nadu have maintained one of the highest credit deposit ratio of 119.15% in the country, whereas this ratio is 77.5% at the national level. So if you compare all the banks with the India's average, Tamil Nadu's average is more. Tamil Nadu's percentage is more when you compare to the nation's average. So higher importance is given to the banking of Tamil Nadu. Both the state and the people are being benefited with the number of banks and its branches. Next important topic, education. School education. Tamil Nadu is grouped among high gross enrollment ratio states. That means more number of students are going to school. According to Niti Aayog 2015-16 report, NER, that is National Enrollment Ratio at primary level in Tamil Nadu is 89.24%, which is higher than that of Kerala, which is only 79.94%. And if you take our India's national average, it is only 74.74%. Whereas in Tamil Nadu, nearly 89.24% of the children are going to schools at the primary level. The all India average is 43% and the world average is 59%. School education. Tamil Nadu's primary education statistics according to 2016-17. See there, number of schools. Total primary schools in Tamil Nadu is 35,414. Number of middle schools is 9,708. And high and higher secondary schools are 12,911. So gross enrollment ratio is 118.8% for primary level that is from classes 1 to 5. 112.3% for upper primary level, that is from class 6 to 8. 62.7% for secondary level, that is for class 9 to 10. Only 49.26% at higher secondary level, that is class 11 and 12. This has been possible mainly due to the supply of free food, cloth, footwear, scholarship, laptop, etc. So the number of students enrollment ratio in Tamil Nadu is high when compared to other states of other states of India, mainly because of the supply of free food, cloth, footwear, scholarship, laptop, etc. Higher education. In gross enrollment ratio under higher education, Tamil Nadu continues to be at the top level, well ahead of other states. The GER is 46.9% in Tamil Nadu, which is far higher against national average and all other states. The higher GER is thanks to the distribution of free food, cloth, footwear, laptop and scholarship. So if you take in the higher secondary department also, most of the students are going to school in Tamil Nadu is more when you compare to the other states. Moreover, in Tamil Nadu itself it is less only, 46.9%. Only 50% of the students are going for high secondary. But other states it is less than Tamil Nadu. See the chart given there. Gross enrollment ratio in or rate in high secondary. Tamil Nadu it is 46.9, Maharashtra 30.2, Uttar Pradesh 24.9%, Odisha 21%, Bihar see it is only 14.4. So only 14.4% of the students are being enrolled in the higher secondary, and see the all over India rate is only 25.2. Higher education. Tamil Nadu has 59 universities. 59 universities, 40 medical colleges, 517 engineering colleges, 2260 arts and science colleges, 447 polytechnics and 20 dental colleges. So Tamil Nadu produces nearly 4 lakh engineering and polytechnic students every year, the highest in the country. See the number of universities, it's 59, medical colleges 40, engineering colleges 517, arts and science college 2260, polytechnics 447 and dental college it is 20. So every year Tamil Nadu is producing nearly 4 lakh of engineering and polytechnic students, which marks the highest in the country. Educational loans. As far as educational loans disbursed by public sector banks under priority sector are concerned, 20.8% of the total amount was disbursed in Tamil Nadu between 2013-14 and 2015-16. So Tamil Nadu government is giving more loans to the students as educational loans. Andhra Pradesh was second with 11.2% of the total loan amount, followed by Maharashtra 10.2. So in supplying the loans for students, Tamil Nadu stands first with 20.8%, Andhra Pradesh stands second with 11.2%, and Maharashtra the third with 10.2%. Of the total amount of educational loans disbursed by private banks during the same period, Kerala accounted for 37.8%, followed by Tamil Nadu with 24.8%. So of the total amount of educational loans disbursed by private banks, so far we have seen the public bank, that is government bank. So in case of private banks, Kerala tops the first with 37.8% it's giving, followed by Tamil Nadu with 24.8%. both Karnataka and Kerala together accounted for more than 60% of the total educational loan amount given by private banks. So both the private banks and public sector banks are giving enough of loan for the students to continue their higher education. Next topic, health. Yes, we all know health is wealth. Yes, Tamil Nadu has a 3-tier health infrastructure comprising hospitals, primary health centers, health units, community health centers and sub-centers. So Tamil Nadu has a 3-tier, 3-level of infrastructure comprising hospitals, then small hospital called primary health centers, then health units, then community health center and also its sub-centers. As of March 2015, the state had, that is Tamil Nadu had 34 district hospitals, 229 sub-divisional hospitals, 1254 primary health centers, 7555 sub-centers and 313 community health centers. So the number of hospitals, subdivisional hospitals, primary health centers, sub-centers and community health centers are more in number when you compare it with the other states of India. Next is communication. I hope you all know what I mean by communication. Okay. So according to government data, India had a total of 342.65 million internet subscribers at the end of March 2016. So Maharashtra, it is 29.47 millions of internet subscribers we have. Tamil Nadu, it is 28.01. Andhra Pradesh 24.87% and Karnataka 22.63 millions. So this was the data which was recorded on 2016. Now in 2020 it will be doubled. Let us see the data in the year 2021. Next topic, transport. Tamil Nadu has a very well established transportation system that connects all parts of the state. This is partly responsible for the investment in the state. Tamil Nadu is served by an extensive road network in terms of its spread as well as quality, providing links between urban centers, agricultural marketplaces and rural habitations in the countryside. So Tamil Nadu has a very good transportation system which connects all parts of the states. People can freely move from rural area to urban areas and from manufacturing center to the market centers and also from rural inhabitations in the countryside also. Let us see first now the road transport. There are 28 national highways, that is NH road, in the state, and it covers a total distance of 5036 km. The state has a total road length of 1,67,000 km, of which 60,628 km are maintained by Highways Department. It ranks second in India with a share of over 20% in total road projects under operation. So there are 28 national highways. It covers a distance of nearly 5,000 km. The state has a total road length of 1,67,000 km, of which nearly 60,000 km are maintained by Highways Department. It ranks second in India with a share of over 20% in total road projects under operation. Next comes the railways. Tamil Nadu has a well-developed rail network as part of the Southern Railway, headquartered at Chennai. There are different railway zones. Tamil Nadu comes under the Southern Railway and Chennai is the headquarters for the Southern Railway. Can you see the picture what it is at? Yes, Central Railway Station in Chennai. Southern Railway network extends over a large area of India's southern peninsula, covering the states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry, and minor portions of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Tamil Nadu has a total railway track length of 6,693 km and there are 690 railway stations. The system connects it with most major cities in India, and we have main railway junctions like Chennai, Coimbatore, Erode, Madurai, Salem, Tiruchirappalli and Tirunelveli. So these are the main railway junctions of Tamil Nadu, and the main railway track length is nearly 6,693 km and the total railway station is about 690. Chennai has a well established suburban railway network, MRTS, a mass rapid transport system, and is currently developing a metro system with its first underground stretch operational since May 2017. Air transport. Tamil Nadu has 4 major international airports. Chennai is one among them. Chennai International Airport is the third largest airport in India after Mumbai and Delhi. Other international airports in Tamil Nadu include Coimbatore International Airport, Madurai International Airport, and Tiruchirappalli International Airport. It also has domestic airports at, that is small airports at, local airports at Tuticorin, Salem and Madurai, which connects several parts of the country. All these are not international airports, all these are internal airports. So Tamil Nadu has 4 major international airports: Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai and Trichy. Chennai is the third largest airport in India after Mumbai and Delhi. Other domestic airports of Tamil Nadu are Tuticorin, Salem and Madurai. Next is ports. What do you mean by port? It's a place where the boats and ships are being anchored and the goods are transported through ships and boats through waterways. So Tamil Nadu has 3 major ports, one each at Chennai, Ennur and Tuticorin, as well as one intermediate port in Nagapattinam and 23 minor ports. So Tamil Nadu has 3 major ports, one intermediate port and 23 small minor ports. The ports are currently capable of handling over 73 million metric tons of cargo, that is goods. All the minor ports are managed by the Tamil Nadu Maritime Board, Chennai Port. So this Chennai port is an artificial harbor. It's not a natural harbor, it is an artificial harbor and the second principal port in the country for handling containers. Ennur port was recently converted from an intermediate port to a major port and handles all the coal and ore traffic in Tamil Nadu. So Ennur port was once an intermediate port. Now it has been converted into a major port and it handles all the coal and ore traffic in Tamil Nadu. Tourism. Tamil Nadu has since ancient past been a hub for tourism. So from the ancient period, Tamil Nadu is acting as one of the important tourist center. In recent years, the state has emerged as one of the leading tourist destinations for both domestic and foreign tourists. In recent years, Tamil Nadu has become one of the important tourist area both for domestic tourists as well as foreign tourists. Tourism in Tamil Nadu is promoted by Tamil Nadu Tourism Development Corporation. The state currently ranks the highest among Indian states with about 25 crore arrivals. Approximately 28 lakh foreign and 11 crore domestic tourists visit the state. See, 28 lakh foreigners and 11 crore domestic people visit the state every year. Indian states ranks the highest among, Tamil Nadu ranks the highest among Indian states with about 25 crore arrivals of tourists every year. See the chart given. Tourist arrivals in India in 2016. Domestic and tourist visit to states and union territories. In this, tourists are going to all the states: Tamil Nadu, UP, AP, MP, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, West Bengal, Gujarat and Rajasthan. But see, Tamil Nadu tops with 34,381, whereas UP 21,117. It is given in millions. Okay, and see, next comes the UP, next AP, MP, and last comes the Rajasthan. So it has been occupied. Tamil Nadu is occupying the topest place. See the foreign tourist visit also. First we have seen the domestic visitors, and the next one is the foreign visitors. Foreign visitors who are coming from other countries are also, more people are coming to Tamil Nadu with 4.72 millions. Next come Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Kerala, Bihar, Goa and Punjab. Next, unemployment and poverty problem in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu ranks 22nd with unemployment rate of 42 per thousand. So Tamil Nadu ranks 22nd with unemployment rate of 42 per thousand. For every 1,000 people, 42 persons are without the job. There are different kinds of unemployment with different economic implications. Tamil Nadu is one of India's richest states since 1994. Tamil Nadu is one of India's richest states since 1994. The state has seen a steady decline in poverty. Tamil Nadu today has lower levels of poverty than most other states in the country. After 2005, Tamil Nadu was among India's fastest growing states. After 2005, Tamil Nadu was one of the states which was growing very fastly. See the chart given there. States are marked on the x-axis. Poverty percentage is marked on the y-axis. See, various states are numbered here. Bihar, Odisha, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Nagaland, Gujarat, Meghalaya, and last the Tamil Nadu. If you see the chart, we can see Bihar tops with 34%. People are below the poverty line, and if you take Tamil Nadu, it is only 12%. It shows that the poverty ratio in Tamil Nadu is becoming less. It is getting reduced. We have come to the end part of the lesson. Let us recap. The Tamil Nadu economy is not rich in natural resource, but it has a good record of agriculture growth, industrial progress, and infrastructural development also. Service sector, especially banking, education, transport, and tourism, is in good records. It occupies top 3 ranks in health index, education, and development of MSMEs, small industries. It has a good record of poverty alleviation and employment generation. India in general and Tamil Nadu in particular need to work more to eliminate, to completely remove female foeticide, killing of female children, reduce the population living in slums, குடிசையில் இருக்கிறவங்க, sleeping on roadsides, beggars and rag pickers. கோணிப்பையில் வேஸ்ட் ப்ராடக்டை பொறுக்கிட்டு போகிறவங்க பேர் தான் rag pickers. So, the government of Tamil Nadu as well as India should take care and remove all this. So, without doing all this, development is meaningless as long as the above ISO continues. So, if a step has been taken by India, definitely India will march towards the path of development, and very soon India also will be becoming a developed country. Thank you, students. Meet you all soon in the next lesson.